Hello everyone, welcome to the new video lecture of subject Interconnected Power System. Myself Himanshu Joshi, I am an assistant professor in Sri Labhubhai Trivedi Institute of Engineering and Technology, Rajkot. So let's continue our topic from chapter number 6, that is the power system stability. So our today's topic is what are the factors that affect the steady state stability or steady state stability limits. So there are list of factors which affect the steady state stability of power system. The first factor is the excitation. Excitation, if we will change the amount of excitation, then steady state stability limit will get affect. So if we change the amount of excitation, then the generated EMF will get changed. Clear? If we increase the excitation, then generated EMF will increase. If we reduce the excitation, the generated EMF will reduce. So based on the amount of excitation variation, the generated EMF will get changed. So we can say that output electrical power is directly proportional to generated EMF, or I can write excitation. So if excitation will increase, then generated EMF will increase, and if generated EMF will increase, then I can say that electrical power output of alternator will increase, and that is nothing but the steady state stability. So if power output will increase, then steady state stability limit will increase. So excitation can be increased by increasing the input fuel power, input steam flow, input mechanical power, etc. Clear? These are the factors that can increase the generated EMF. Clear? If we increase the input fuel power, if we increase the steam flow, if we increase the mechanical power input, then all of these will increase the generated EMF. Clear? So this is the first factor which affect the steady state stability of power system. Second point that affect the steady state stability and its limit is reactance between generator and load. Reactance between generator and load. So from the power angle equation, I can say that output electrical power is inversely proportional to the reactance or total reactance. Output power is inversely proportional to total reactance xt. So if suppose anyhow xt total reactance is reduced, then output power will increase, and due to that steady state stability limit of power system will increase. So if reactance is lower, then steady state stability limit will be higher. So this is the second factor that affect the steady state stability limit. On vice versa, you can also say that if reactance will increase, then power will decrease and steady state stability limit will also reduce. So this is the second point, that reactance between generator and load. Third factor that affect the steady state stability limit is series capacitor. This factor will only affect if line is compensated by series capacitor. So we can say that series compensator allows more power to transfer at same voltage level over the longer transmission line compared to uncompensated line. So due to lower line impedance, it will improve the steady state stability limit. So if we compensate the transmission line with series capacitor, as you can see in this diagram, that this is the normal reactance of transmission line, and if we increase the series capacitor bank in series with transmission line, then the net reactance of transmission line gets changed. You can see over here that if normal line, the reactance is xt. If line is compensated by means of series capacitor, then reactance will get changed from xt to xt minus xc. So we can say that reactance will reduce. So due to that, power transfer capability will increase. Due to that, power transfer capability will increase, and due to that, steady state stability limit will also increase. So this is called series compensated line, and this is the factor that will affect the steady state stability and steady state stability limit. Okay, now fourth point is shunt capacitor. So as same as series capacitor, shunt capacitor are also used to compensate for the losses, to ensure the better voltage level during heavy loading condition. Now what is the duty of shunt capacitor? Shunt capacitor will supply the reactive power, and due to that boost up the voltage. So shunt capacitor are extensively used in power system across load on supply line to offer leading load. So as you can see in this diagram that the duty of shunt capacitor is to inject the leading reactive power into the system. So what will the benefit for this compensation? As this capacitor will inject the leading reactive power, then the generator is having a lower reactive power demand, because the amount of reactive power is injected by this shunt capacitor. So the shunt capacitor will provide the reactive power during heavy loading condition. So during peak load demand, the receiving end power is less than the sending end power, due to which system back out of or goes out of step. As you can see that during peak load demand, the demand of reactive power will increase. So if we connect the shunt capacitor, then that excessive amount of demand is fulfilled by this shunt capacitor. So generator has to do lower work, and due to that system steady state stability will increase. So this is the duty of shunt capacitor. Now let discuss the another topic of method to improve the steady state stability. Till now we have discussed the factor affecting the steady state stability. Now next point is methods to improve the steady state stability. So first method to improve the steady state stability is by reducing the transfer reactance. So transfer reactance can be reduced by means of this method: use of parallel line, use of series capacitor, and you can add the third one by means of bundle conductor. Over here we can add one more method by means of bundle conductor. So first method is by means of parallel lines, second method is by use of series capacitor, and third one is the by means of bundle conductors. So let's discuss the first point by use of parallel line. So by means of parallel line we can improve the power transfer on transmission line. So we can say that as parallel transmission line reduce the net impedance of transmission line, power transfer capacity will increase. So we can say that there is a limit of each transmission line up to its maximum line loading capability. Each transmission line has upper limit of power transfer capability. If receiving end system load capacity will increase beyond its normal capacity, then at that time parallel line should increase. So, if receiving end side load is increased to its normal capability, that is the maximum line loading capability, then we have to increase parallel line. So, at this way the net impedance between two transmission line which runs parallel will reduce, and due to that reactance will reduce, and due to that transmission line power transfer capability will increase. But this parallel line is having a one disadvantage, that if we increase the number of parallel line into the system, then it will create a problem of increase of cost and will make system more complex. So, with this we can say that we can increase the power transfer capability by adding one more parallel line and decreasing the net reactance of system. So, over here suppose this is the single line, and if load on this line is beyond its normal capability, then we have to add one more line which is having a reactance of X2. So, net reactance of this combination is equal to X1 into X2 divided by X1 plus X2. So, you will get equivalent reactance of this combination of these two, parallel combination of these two, and that new reactance is having a value which is lower than these two reactants. Clear? So, by means of this way we can increase the power transfer capability, and with this power transfer capability will increase, and it will increase the steady state stability and its steady state stability limit. So, this is known as by use of two parallel lines. Okay. Next is series capacitance. So, we have already discussed lots of about series capacitance, but let me give some highlighted point regarding series capacitor. So, in addition of series compensating capacitor, it will allow the power transfer at same voltage level over long transmission line, then uncompensated line, and this series capacitor will better utilize the existing transmission network which is cost effective. In case of parallel line, we have to pay more and it will make system more complex, but in case of series compensation, it is cost effective and quicker rather than building a new additional parallel line. If you want to increase the parallel line, then it needs money and it needs time, but in case of series compensation, it is cost effective, faster compared to building a new transmission line. So, it having a advantage that lower line impedance, improve the stability, voltage regulation, and improve the voltage profile at load end. Another advantage is that increasing the loading of line, improve the utilization of transmission system and return into capital investment, because you can utilize the same transmission line, and by means of this way you gain capital investment return. So, and in return it will also increase the transmission capacity. Another method to reduction of transfer reactance is by means of bundle conductor. So, it is a normal thing that you all know about the bundle conductor that will reduce the reactance. So, bundle conductor are used in EHV transmission line, and it is used mainly for reduction in corona losses and radio interference, but it somehow also reduce the reactance of transmission line. That is why I have add this point. though it is not that much of effective compared to series capacitor and parallel line. It is not that much of effective. Second method to improve the steady state stability limit is by increasing the magnitude of E and V. So, this is the normal thing that by means of excitation we can increase the generated EMF, and due to that receiving end voltage or terminal voltage will also increase. So, if numerator will increase, it will increase the electrical power output of generator, and if this will increase, then it will also improve the steady state stability limit. As you can increase the generated EMF, if you will increase the terminal voltage, then in this way the electrical output power will increase and it will increase the steady state stability limit. So, these are the method to improve the power system steady state stability. So, in today's lecture we have discussed the factor affecting steady state stability limit. That factors are excitation, reactance between generator and load, series capacitor and shunt capacitor. And after that we have discussed the factor affecting steady state stability, and after that we have discussed the method to improve the steady state stability. That method is, first method is reduction of transfer reactance by using parallel line, by using series capacitor and by using bundle conductor. And after that we have discussed the by increasing the magnitude of generated EMF and terminal voltage. So, with this, thank you very much. We will conclude our session. If you have any doubt, any question, you can give your doubt and question in comment section. And if you like my video, then please like it, share it and subscribe my YouTube channel Himanshu Joshi, and also share these videos with your friend also. Thank you very much.